Tony D and Little Joan here with a screenwriter's rant on Night of the Bastard from Dark Sky Films. A low budget movie. Well, it looks not too bad. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 10 available at Amazon.com. I will be at Krampus tomorrow, Saturday, from 12, I think it goes 12 to 4 in Asbury Park. Not sure about the weather. We might be in the basement of that bar, just like the Jersey Devil Fest and the Scary Stories Fest we did. It's all connected to paranormal books, so look for the signage if the weather is crappy. Right, Joan? Okay, so this Night of the Bastard reminds me of old 70s flicks, because this kind of would be how they started. So in the 70s, you were coming off the Marilyn Manson murders, not Marilyn Manson, the Manson family murders, and people would make movies about cults in the desert doing horrible things to people. This looks like that. So you got a pregnant woman and her husband, I guess, or boyfriend, and they do horrible things to him. And then it cuts to this guy who I don't think is the same guy. Initially, I watched this and I thought, well, this must be the same guy years later. It's like the same character, but it's a different actor. Maybe. Doesn't really seem clear. It's definitely a different actor, because he's definitely looking older. I know, Joe. So he's a recluse, lives out in the desert, and then one night, a woman shows up to his door, all bloody. What's wrong, little Joe? You want to come up here? Here you go. Here, I'll pat you. Yeah. So this woman is being attacked by the demonist, as they call them in the write-up. And he teams up with her to save her. They all surround his house, and he goes full Punisher mode and starts killing them, because they're like attacking his house. And then I assume they light the house on fire or drive him out some way. And so, Fear the Man, the Bastard. I like it. Night of the Bastard's great title. I'm not sure what's happening there. Maybe they're stabbing him or drowning him. Here he is out in the desert, laughing because he got away. That might be the end of the movie, right? Everybody's dead, even the girl. I don't know. Love the title. You gotta love that title. So yeah, I mean, I think this could be good. It seems like a revenge thing against witches. If that makes any sense. Or I think it says demonist in this. So this was directed by Eric Boscio, who is co-creator of the story, and he is one of the producers. London May, who I think is the main character, the bearded guy, because I think London is a man's name. Well, he's a producer too. He's also the co-creator of the story. Then they got two guys to write the screenplay, Chuck Foster and Christian Ackerman. Ackerman's a producer as well. Boscio also did the film editing. So this is a low-budget effect, or a low-budget affair. You know, for a low budget, I mean, it seems like a pretty solid entry. Seems pretty solid to me. I already did this take, by the way, which is why I could read those credits. I had so much trouble the first time I did the take, and then I did something wrong. I hit the wrong button, and I had to redo the take. But I think these are, I mean, they call them demonists. The write-up is: a gruff recluse and an injured woman must fend off a gang of bloodthirsty demonists as they lay siege to his desert home. So she's like a witch, right? It's very witchy looking. And Dark Sky Films does a bunch of low-budget horror films. So this is like, you know, a throwback to the 70s. Looks good. I would totally watch it. So first act, the couple comes to, I'm not sure where, comes to a house where the demonist, I would call them witches or Satanists, they jump them and they kill them. And one's pregnant, and it's a, you know, evil sacrifice, whole evil sacrifice thing going on. Then it cuts to this guy in the desert. Either it's the same guy who somehow got away, and it's years later, or I think it's, I don't think, you know, I think for a low budget it could go either way, but I don't think this is the same guy. It would make more sense to me if it was like the trauma of what happened, seeing his pregnant wife killed, turns him into a recluse, and then the same guys come back and he gets revenge on them. But maybe not. Maybe he's just your average desert hermit, and he just happens to get caught up in it one night when she shows up all bloody, and ooh, some boobage there. So he's going to kill these guys one by one, and she's going to team up with him. And the second act, the first act is the intro, leads into the girl showing up at his doorstep. Second act, he decides to defend her. It starts out in the house. They kill a few. Look at that guy. They kill a few of the guys, but they're eventually overwhelmed. They're taken back to their camp, where they're going to be horribly tortured and killed. And, you know, they eventually turn the tables on their captors, and he kills them all. Maybe the girl dies, maybe he dies. It's a tough call on a low-budget feature, because they can kind of do whatever the F they want, right? I mean, my instinct would say that Night of the Bastard is too good of a title that they wouldn't sort of keep it open for a sequel if this movie did well for them. So, and London, I think, is the bearded guy, is going to say, yeah, you know, maybe we could do Night of the Bastard 2 and Night of the Bastard 3, The Return, or whatever. You know, and he just ends up killing Satanists. I think that could be a good low-budget franchise. I think people would dig it. You know, you'd have to mix it up more, but maybe throw in some effects at some point. But for a low-budget thing, I think this could work. Yeah, I think it could work. I would watch it. I wouldn't go to the theater. This is definitely a video on demand, a rental, as we say back in the day. Probably wouldn't even get a theatrical release, doggy. No, too low budget. Too low budget, doggy. Maybe limited. Maybe limited. I mean, I'm not knocking the movie. I think it looks fine. The actors are doing well. I believe them. Nobody's like overplaying their hand, so to speak. So I think this could be a decent low budget horror movie, thriller, whatever you want to call it. What are they calling it? It doesn't really say. But it seems well directed, well acted. So yeah, I'm down. Night of the Bastard. That title alone sold me. The moment I heard the title, all you had to do is not F up the trailer, and I'm in. I'm in. So good. All right, that's it for me, Tony D, and Squirmy Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for more bass takes. I'll be at Krampus tomorrow. Hope the weather holds, and hope to see you there. Oops. I will see you in the next one.